It's Wednesday! It's time for Tony Khan to get the colouring books out, get the pencils out, get the crayons out, because we're going to find out who drew on AEW Dynamite. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It's not actually Wednesday, it's Sunday, but here, we're reacting to Wednesday's Dynamite, January 8th, 2025, the second show of the new year. The second show on Max, the second show that I've watched, unfortunately. So, yeah, let's talk about it. AEW Dynamite. It is, like we said in the ratings video, it's an improvement on last week's. The rating has went up. Last week did 588,000. This week did 615,000. So straight away, the rating is up. Congratulations to them. But we will move into quarter one. 8 o'clock to 8:15. It was Buddy Matthews versus Will Ospreay. That's got 732,000 viewers, and it got a key demo of 267,000 viewers. Now, last week the key demo was poor, and the viewership was poor for the first quarter. I'm thinking that maybe last week the Big Bang Theory wasn't on, and perhaps this week it was on. Or here, maybe people were just excited to see Dynamite, but I don't really believe that, because I don't think over 100,000 people would be excited and then just tune out after one quarter. So I think that the Big Bang Theory was probably back on this week, and that is what's happened there. But look, this was the highest quarter of the show. No surprise, really. Don't think it had anything to do, really, with the opening match, Buddy Matthews versus Will Ospreay. But as we know, that quarter one segment, it's the quarter that you want to be in. If you're in quarter one with Dynamite, likelihood is you'll be able to brag about being in the highest part of the show, and more often than not, that's what happens. Quarter two, 8:15 to 8:30 PM, we get Buddy Matthews versus Will Ospreay continued. We get post-match with Private Party, the Hurt Syndicate ramp angle. Then we get Mark Briscoe versus Bobby Lashley. This went down 15% in viewership to 623,000, so a loss of 109,000 viewers. Also went down 18% in the key demo to 218,000, so a loss of 49,000 viewers. 49,000 viewers in the key demo. So big losses here, big losses in both viewership and key demo for quarter two. And then we go into quarter three. Mark Briscoe versus Bobby Lashley continued, and then also the beginning of the AEW World Title #1 Contender Casino Gauntlet match. Another big loss here, 11% down in the viewership to 555,000. So again, you know, another big loss there of 68,000 viewers gone, and another decrease in the key demo of 9% down to 199,000. So look, I looked at the clips, and Bobby Lashley versus Mark Briscoe. Nobody wanted to watch that. That was a very low viewed YouTube clip. So maybe people just did not care for that match, and you know, it's a pretty bad start to the show, losing 15% in quarter two and then 11% in quarter three. Not good. Quarter four, we do get an increase of 3%. It was the AEW World Title #1 Contender Casino Gauntlet match. This just continued throughout quarter four, 8:45 to 9 PM. We go into quarter five. We get the continuation of the Casino Gauntlet match. We get a bit of post-match with Powerhouse Hobbs, Jeff Jarrett, Christian Cage promo, and then we get Jeff Jarrett live promo. This went up 15% in viewership to 658,000, and up 18% in the key demo to 238,000. So this is decent for AEW. You know, pretty big gains here in quarter five. MJF promo with Jarrett was pretty good. So, yeah, that's what they needed. Obviously, top of the hour, you do expect a bit of a boost here, but, you know, this is a pretty high increase. So, a little bit surprised as to why it went up this much, but they're up over 100,000 on what they were doing in quarter three. So they've actually found 100,000 viewers, and it's very rare you see that with Dynamite. Normally it's just down, 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 down. But we've seen them actually claw back 100,000 viewers, and for me that is pretty impressive. Now, people will bash AEW. You can do that if you want. If you want to suck the nuts to Triple H and WWE, that's fine. But anyone that has followed the ratings will know that it's just a downward spiral from quarter one to the end. So I think the fact that AEW Dynamite has managed to claw back over 100,000 viewers from quarter three is actually pretty decent. Now, obviously, it sucks that they lost them in the first place, but at least they got them back for a bit. That's got to mean something. Quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:40 p.m. We get the MJF Jeff Jarrett live promo continued. We then got Cope and Death Riders with a live angle. This went down 7%. This ain't good though. You got the continuation of your MJF Jarrett promo. Then you've got Cope and the Death Riders. That's supposed to be your big deal. You know, you've got your world champion in there, and John Moxley. You've got Cope, who's going to be the guy supposedly to stop John Moxley, and it lost 7% in viewership, and it lost 8% in key demos. So yeah, that's a poor loss considering who was in that quarter. Quarter 7. We've got Cope, FTR, Powerhouse Hobbs, Death Riders live angle. We've got Mariah May, Harley Cameron backstage angle. We've got Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. The winner of this enters number 1 in the Casino Gauntlet match. This went down 3% in viewership to 594,000, but went up 5% in the key demo to 229,000. So an increase there in the key demo for AEW Dynamite. Quarter 8, Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale versus Statlander continued. Then we got Tony Storm backstage saying that it's, I guess it can't be Tony time all the time. Tony Storm's fucking great. I mean, she's so hot. Yeah, and I never even liked her on WWE. I thought she sucked, but I tell you what, she's actually improved herself a hell of a lot since going to AEW. Probably one of the only few people I can say has actually improved their career by going to AEW. You know, maybe that's actually worth a video. Yeah, I might actually do something about that. Maybe 5 wrestlers that have improved their careers by going to AEW and 5 wrestlers who haven't. That could be something worth doing. Anyway, we got a 3% loss here in the quarter 8, the final quarter, down to 575,000, but up 3% in the key demo. So viewership going down, key demo going up. A little bit strange, but you know, numbers aren't massive. Then in the overrun, 10 o'clock to 10:05, it was Kenny Omega, the Don Callis family, and Will Ospreay with a live angle. This went up 5% in viewership to 606,000, and it also went up 6% in the key demo to 250,000. So look, the show ended pretty strong. Other than quarter 6, from quarter 4 onwards, the key demo increased. Other than that one segment, so I mean, Tony Khan will be happy about that. He won't be happy about the overall number, but he will be happy that the show from quarter 4 onwards, apart from that, you know, 6th quarter, it actually did increase. So, I mean, you got to take the positives where you can find them. There's not many positives for AEW, so you know, any little positive that you can spin, you've got to take that. So, yeah, not the greatest numbers in the world, but not the worst numbers either. So, aye, there you go. AEW Dynamite quarters, guys. Overall, though, 615,000, not where AEW wants to be. I just feel like AEW needs some life blown into it. I don't know how or what. I mean, fuck it, McMahon. Just bring McMahon in. Vince McMahon, bring him in. You couldn't get Shane. Let's see if we can get Vince. Could you imagine if McMahon came in and just bought AEW Dynamite? I don't think Tony would sell it, but what if that was the story? What if McMahon... But then again, can McMahon really work with these guys? You could just imagine McMahon in a promo and just some fucking loser like Adam Hangman Page turns around and says, "You're not the real owner, you only pretend to own it." You know, you could just see them breaking kayfabe on TV just to try and be edgy. Anyway, guys, AEW Dynamite ratings are falling off a cliff, the edge of a cliff, but aye, whatever, they got some decent quarters here. That's it, till next time. Peace.